The results are in. Europe has voted. 27 EU member countries have voted. And my friends, this is the end for internal combustion engines. It's here now. And boy, oh boy, is it sweet. Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back, everyone else. If you are new, we've made more than 800 videos over the last 12 months about the electric vehicle revolution, about new battery technology coming to market, about new electric vehicles coming to market over the next 12 months, and how this electric vehicle market will be completely transformed, completely changed over the next decade. One of the big changes happening is Chinese automakers will take up much of the share of the market that Japanese automakers currently have. In July of 2021, the European Commission published an official plan that covered renewable energy sources, renovating buildings, and a proposed ban on the sale of new cars equipped with combustion engines of any type, including hybrids, from 2035. At the time, this green strategy was discussed widely, and some of the largest economies in the European Union weren't happy. They didn't want to go through with this. They didn't really agree with it necessarily, with this sales ban on internal combustion engine vehicles. But just this week, lawmakers in the EU voted to uphold the ban on internal combustion engines from the middle of next decade, meaning starting in 2035, it will become illegal to sell any vehicle with any type of internal combustion engine vehicle in that car or truck or whatever it is. Now, the final workings of these laws are going to be discussed with member states later this year. However, it's widely accepted that the plan is for all automakers to reduce CO2 emissions in their fleets by 100%, in other words, to zero, by 2035. This means no petrol, no diesel, no hybrid, no plug-in hybrids will be available on the car market in Europe, in the European Union, in 27 countries, period, in 2035. Now, I should point out, this doesn't mean that for people already owning second-hand vehicles that have engines in them, it doesn't mean they'll be banned from the streets. You'll still be able to drive those. Whether or not you'll want to, well, that's another story. I think petrol stations, gas stations will be closing down all over Europe. They'll just continue to close down until people finally, decide enough is enough. Why are we driving these stinky things anyway? And I also believe that by then, efficiency of electric cars will be so incredibly high, you'd have to be mental or financially challenged mentally to want to keep driving an internal combustion engine vehicle. It just won't make economic sense, even for people who are cash strapped. The voting from early this week doesn't kill the combustion engine in Europe entirely quite yet. Before that happens, the European Union has to get Germany to agree. Seriously, Germany is the one country holding this all up. Why? I'll tell you why. Because Germany thinks it's going to lose its auto industry. A lot of it. And it is. Germany proposes that vehicles powered by synthetic fuels should still be allowed. Why are they saying this? Well, they believe that people who buy Porsche vehicles, right, really expensive sports cars, need some kind of emotive experience. So they need to provide them with their synthetic fueled vehicles. And Porsche is investing hundreds of millions of dollars into manufacturing synthetic fueled cars, which is absolute madness in my view, considering, as you can see, the demand for electric cars at Porsche is astronomical. EV sales at Porsche are incredibly high in demand. I think shows to Porsche themselves that investing hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars into synthetic fueled vehicles is a dead end. It's a road to nowhere. So who knows what's going to happen with that? But regardless, I personally think it doesn't really matter that Germany is having this little issue with synthetic fuel vehicles because they're never going to take off anyway. They are stupid. They make no sense. And honestly, customers will know that well and truly and will just steer clear of buying them. And Porsche will have wasted hundreds of millions of dollars in investing into this technology. Yet another reason, really, isn't it, that Volkswagen are in some serious trouble. Have a look at Volkswagen's electric car sales this year. They've been abysmal. Frankly, they're getting caught and passed by other companies at a record rate. In its first statement following the new agreement, Germany's ADAC or ADAC, Europe's largest motoring association, said that ambitious climate protection goals in transport cannot be achieved by electric mobility alone. The organisation considers it necessary to open up the prospect of a climate-neutral internal combustion engine, which in my view is absolutely borderline mental. However, a member of the European Parliament, Michael Bloss, said this: "This is a turning point that we are discussing today. Anyone who still relies on the internal combustion engine in 2035 is harming the industry, the climate, and violating European law." About 1/4 of the CO2 emissions produced in Europe come from the transportation sector. 12% of those emissions come from passenger cars. And according to this new agreement, from 2030, the annual emissions of new cars should be 55% lower than in 2021. And if they're not, car companies will be fined, forced to give money to companies like who? Tesla. Yep. All of you saying Tesla's tax credits would simply dry up, I think you might have been wrong. They're going to continue for years to come. This whole idea of having a vehicle which is so-called carbon neutral because it's burning synthetic fuels is a complete myth. It's a joke and it doesn't work on multiple levels. In fact, it's simply called greenwashing, and in my view, it's just a lie. Internal combustion engines, even if they don't produce CO2 or NOx particles, actually do still produce other particles that go into your brain. Not many people know this, but you actually get metal particles from engines in the exhaust and iron nanoparticles from engines ending up in people's brains. Happens all the time. They're flying around in the air everywhere. You just don't see them. What this actually does is accelerates the onset or the early onset of Alzheimer's disease in some people. It's not good stuff. Internal combustion engines are garbage. They're actually genius. But that genius is long and truly done with. Henry Ford, yeah, great work to him. Kudos. You know what? That was 100 years ago. That time has been and gone. It's now time for a better product and a better solution. And we have it. It's here now. We need to do away with internal combustion engines completely. They're noisy, they're heavy, they're bulky, they're complicated, they require lots of maintenance, they're actually slow. In my view, noisy is slow. I mean, look at the Tesla Model S Plaid, right? Look at every other car it races against. Supercars, thrashing them. Noise will become synonymous with slow. Aside from not polluting the atmosphere, vehicles without internal combustion engines will be both safer and more comfortable as well. The other thing worth considering is this, right? Internal combustion engine technology is extremely inefficient in converting only about 20% of gasoline energy into a form usable by the car. Electric vehicles, on the other hand, convert 3 times more energy, or around 60%, which becomes usable by the car. In other words, they're 3 times as efficient. That's insane. And that's all before we factor in the cost of making gasoline and diesel. Like I've told you many times, right? I'm really looking forward to the day when I can wind down my window, even in traffic, and not smell the stench of exhaust fumes. I can wind my window down, even when there's thousands of cars all around me, and know that I'm breathing in clean air. Don't know about you, but I'm excited for that day. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Should internal combustion engine vehicles be banned? Is this necessary? I mean, there is a fair argument to make that no one will want to buy any of them anyway by 2035. So this is just political kind of grandstanding, making themselves look good. That would be a fair point. I don't think that anyone's going to be buying internal combustion engine vehicles in Europe, even in 2030. I think they're going to die well before then. But, you know, still, it is good marketing in my view. Though, let me know in the comment section below what you think. As always, have a great day. I'll see you again on the next video. Bye-bye.